the Skidmore, who spent a majority of the first couple of years of me calling her being the X factor off the bench, kind of the spark plug that came in defensively to get things going, but really got more into the starting role the last couple of years. So Maddie is here. It's Maddie, right? You prefer Maddie or Madison?
Maddie's good.
Maddie's good. Okay. Yeah, that was the same thing. Like with I had Peter Fisher on, and I was like, "You're Pete or Peter?" And he's like, "Well, my mom calls me Peter, but I like Pete." I'm like, "All right, cool." So I always ask because technically I'm Christopher, but I hate that it's Chris, So, so we are here with Maddie Meyer, and for those of you who may not know, outside of the Skidmore atmosphere, a little bubble that we're in. She did go to Duanesburg High School from Delancey, New York, all-time leading scorer and Section 2 MVP, as well as a 4-year contributor here at Skidmore. Appeared in all 27 games, 16 starts, as that was, I believe, as a freshman. Averaged 7.5. No, sophomore. Average 7.5. This year, obviously they keep coming up. The point totals keep coming up. So I guess the main thing for you, Maddie, is coming from Duanesburg, what was the basketball culture like out there? Because I played in what is now the AAA. I know that's a Class C, I believe, is Duanesburg.
Yeah.
What's the culture like out there for that program? Were you coming from a historic program, a good program? Were you kind of like the superstar of the program? Or how was all that for you when growing up?
Yeah, so I actually started my 7th grade season off, and
Seventh? Okay.
So I decided not to go play on the varsity team my 7th grade year. I was offered to, but I wasn't loving the coach as much. He's a great person, just like different ideologies than I had in basketball. Okay. So I stayed with my JV team and then followed my coach up, who just got transitioned to varsity.
Oh, nice.
So historically, Duanesburg was known for losing the games by at least 40 points. Like, I remember watching a game against BKW, who's our biggest rival, and
they're the big Bird Knox is the big one.
Yeah, it's our big one. We gotta knock them off every year. And they couldn't get it past half court. I was watching my sister and the older girl.
When was this? This
that
season?
Was my 7th grade.
Your 7th grade season. Okay.
So I was like, oh,
so this is a while back.
Yeah, this is a while back. So I'm like, this is a tough team that I'm going into. I play AAU, and I played against some like EYBL girls. I knew what there was out there for basketball. So then I got into varsity, and I looked around me, and I had maybe 7 other teammates. Definitely not enough to fulfill the entire season with injuries and everything like that. But we managed to do so. And the biggest thing that I learned, like through my 4 years and like from that first year, is like, you're only as good as the last person on your bench. And
of course, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, like you truly need everyone in there for every skill that they're the best at doing, what they're an elite athlete at. And I like everyone has their different skills.
Sure.
And my first skill was defense, as you
I've noticed over the last 4 years. Yes, yeah, that's been sort of the staple of the Madison Meyer game. Yep.
Yeah. I always am defensive bound. I love defense. I love being a gnat. I love annoying people. I love getting steals. I love helping my team get another possession. It is so fun to me. Like,
which is great because I hated defense. I was a guard as well. I wanted to score. I wanted to score 30 a game. That was me.
That's
was fair. Yeah. But no, and we definitely noticed that. But here's the thing. So you mentioned 7th grade. When did you start playing varsity?
Varsity, I started playing in 8th grade.
8th grade, okay.
And when I started to go up, people here should know the name, but Allison O'Hanlon started in her 7th grade year, so she was about a year behind me.
Okay.
Young. I also had Alex Moses and Hannah Mulhern, who 2 of them went D1, and one of them chose to not play basketball for personal reasons. But so I had a young group of girls who knew how to play for the first time in my life. I had girls who wanted to wake up at 6 a.m. before class and do a workout and then practice after school for 3 hours.
Dedication.
Yeah, so we made it all the way to semifinals and the sectionals, I think it was, my senior year. And, if they were just a little bit older and a little bit stronger, I think we would have got it. But that place really taught me, like, you got to work hard. You got to use everyone on your team.
Well, I figured you had started early because you had reached the 1,000-point mark by sophomore year.
Mm-hmm.
Some people don't do it at all.
Yeah.
And you were there by sophomore. So I figured you had started 7th, 8th grade, whatnot, and
Yeah.
went through. But so what was that like being a 1,000-point scorer, which again is not something that a lot of people can say that they've done. You did that and then still had 2 more years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, was that like a big thing for you, or with the way you are as a player, you're just kind of like, all right, cool, on to the next one?
I really enjoyed the 1,000 points, not because of the points that I had scored, but that was the first time Joannesburg had ever filled capacity in the gym.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
I had every single person in our town, including like my lovely parents and family. And
We
I
hope
could
they're
just
listening today, by the way.
hopefully,
Yeah, so.
and hi if you are. They had supported me so much and they made it a big thing to me. Like I was just there to win the games and I loved basketball. It was an escape to everything academic, like in my family and political, everything that's going on. Like basketball is just such a quiet room.
And so you said that the team, when you had first, started up, Dwaynesburg wasn't necessarily the best team overall, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you come from a team where you were kind of a tribute to that success. You said getting to that program, getting that program to the semifinals. Then you come into Skidmore, and we'll get into how you got here and who recruited you and everything in a second. But you come into a program that went in your first 2 years 45-11 overall and 32-4 in the Liberty League. And, back-to-back NCAA tournament appearances. I mean, everything was, wow, Skidmore, the men's team, obviously, on the same time had some down years. So it was the women's team that everyone was talking about. And to transition to that level of success coming from, a program that really didn't have a lot of success, what was that like as a freshman coming in? Because I know Coach Turner was tough. So, yeah.
She was quite tough. Yeah, so I honestly, I came into Skidmore being like, I could do anything on the court that I wanted in Johannesburg. Sure. I had no rules. I didn't have to run certain plays. Like, whatever I saw, an open pass across court, I could do. Coming into Skidmore, Jessica Turner, she recruited me my senior year, and I was sold because I wanted to live close to home, and I wanted my parents to be able to watch like what they put into. Yep. So I signed off. And then the team dynamic was great. Like the girls, I don't think she could have recruited better women. Mm-hmm. Like something she was amazing at was recruiting the right people.
Okay.
It was tough going into a situation that was so strict. I know you need it to be that way in college, but
well, not necessarily. I mean, every coach is different.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had coaches that were similar to what you're talking about in high school, where basically the inmates run the asylum as long as we're winning. Mm-hmm. But then there was ones that was literally like drill sergeant coaches. So it really, it depends on who you are as a player and who you are kind of internally to be able to handle that and to adapt. Because I know we'll get into Coach Bostic in a minute, but no, he's polar opposite when it comes to that. So it really depends on who you are as a player. But did you feel any kind of maybe lack of confidence coming in after that? Or did you feel like maybe I'm not as good as everyone said I was? I mean, I'm not saying you weren't. I'm saying, was that, were you feeling that coming in as a freshman?
Coming in as a freshman, Dwaynesburg definitely made me feel confident. Okay. Like the town, the environment, everything about it. I felt very good confidence. And I also felt confidence because I did everything outside of what I could have done.
Sure.
I went to every showcase, every training session. I played the part, everything. Yeah. So, but I tell everyone this, and I tell them about going to freshman year of college basketball. My first game on the Skidmore court, I felt like all the lights turned off. Oh, and then everyone else grew like 6 feet. I was very scared. So a lot of the time, my freshman year had bad decision making. And that was not because of my IQ, but just because of like, I saw something and I wanted it quick so that I could remind myself, like I had played all summer, like, this is who I am. Like, I make these passes. I help people score.
But the competition level had scaled up.
Yeah. Yes. Everyone was the 1,000-point scorer, and everyone had all the knowledge that I did, too. But I'm not a dribble drive person. And if you guys who are listening don't know what a dribble drive is, it's pretty much I'm the point guard in the situation. I dribble the ball. I jump stop. I hand it off. And then I fill a spot to stay. There was nothing fluid about the way that dribble drive is and the way that I play. So I'm like, I go in for every type of rebound. I will put my body on the floor for a ball. I will make the pass down low when everyone's looking to the right. Like, I look for my people, and I just didn't feel like I had the freedom to kind of do what I showed that I should have been recruited
So
for.
maybe like a clash of styles a little bit coming in. Okay.
Definitely.
And I mean, I do know that, you came in with a team that was really, really good. I mean, had you, and again, nothing against the teams that you have now. I mean, the team that you guys were successful this year as well. But had you had more of this style of team then, perhaps maybe you would have had more of that decision. You would have been more confident. You would have had more, maybe impact early. Although I do notice coming off the bench, the first 2 years, I used to say, and for those who would listen, whoa, she's coming in now. The defense is about to step up. It's about to get more intense now because you were like a little spark plug coming off the bench. You were everywhere. And, from the steals to, jumping in passing lanes, knocking stuff away to even getting rebounds. And you're not the biggest, out there. So, things like that. The press defense that you guys had was just tenacious. So whenever it seemed like for the first 2 seasons, despite the team being successful, it seemed like whenever, well, you were number 24 back then.
Yeah,
but
right.
whenever you'd come onto the floor, it would tighten up a little bit. You know what I mean? So that was always the one thing that I noticed. And then obviously your offense came along as you got more minutes, and you became sort of into this year being a little bit of everything: offense, defense. You got to work on the free throws a little bit,
Oh
but
my gosh, yeah, tell me about it.
offense, defense, and then obviously your ability as a leader on this team as well, which you could see on the floor, which really was encapsulated by just the body language and the pregame and postgame and everything as well. So kind of the whole growth, the 4-year growth of you was interesting to watch, because for 11 years now I've called you. I mean, you were in elementary school when I started calling Skidmore games. So it was, to see, I see all these players every 4 years keep going through, and to have somebody start as 5 to 7 minutes a game to basically you didn't come off the floor unless you fouled out this year for the most part, which happened a couple times also, which I was a little critical of, because especially that first RPI game, I was like, we need her for this 5 minutes, and but
It's terrible.
Again, that's a testament to your defense, your aggressiveness, though. Which I wasn't too mad at. I was like, hey, she's out there. She's doing pretty much everything. They need to get back in a rally. Not going to blame the refs, but a couple of those were a little ticky-tack. So you came to Skidmore. Was it mostly Coach Turner and the program that she was building, or what else, and being home, close to home, but what else was it about Skidmore that really drew you here? Because there's a lot of local schools that you could still be relatively close to home to, so...
I kind of I emailed a few coaches in the beginning, but I kind of just went where people called. For my college process, I worked really hard on all the paperwork, and then I was like, I'm going to let the other stuff come to me with basketball. So I was between Wheaton College in Massachusetts and this college, Skidmore in Saratoga Springs. And it's funny saying now, but I talked to Coach Turner, and I was parked by the railroad tracks in Duanesburg, and I was like, I'm going to tell the coaches what I'm going to do. I called her, and I was just like, our first phone call we had was phenomenal. And she just sounded so level-headed and so down to have my play style and everything, that she just was very kind. And through her words, I decided I'm going to go to Skidmore. I came here. I visited actually with my head coach from Duanesburg High School, who doesn't coach anymore right now there, but Chris Heron came with me because my parents were both at work, to show me around campus. And it was like Duanesburg had encapsulated itself in Saratoga Springs in this small LeBron school. And I was like, this has to be my place.
Big town, though, right? Compared to what?
Way bigger town.
Is it Delancey, technically?
Yeah, Delancey.
Okay. Because I've driven through. I'll admit, I'm not saying anything, nothing against the town, but I've driven past it. You see the signs for it on the highway, but I've never been there. But so that transition also to Saratoga and this kind of atmosphere was different for you as well, especially as a freshman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you been here over the summer?
I have been here some. I didn't do any research over the summer here. I worked some internships outside.
Well, you know how crazy it gets in the summer with the track and everything.
Oh my gosh. I've come for the track, and it was beautiful. I didn't visit much when I was in high school in Duanesburg. But I feel like the town is so remarkable. And the people who live here also do quite remarkable things. And I thought this opportunity to go to such a great school that I could get into academically, like with all
you
that.
Could or couldn't?
Could.
Oh, could.
Like,
Okay, I was gonna say you couldn't. You're
I
here.
didn't need that
Okay.
saver spot.
Okay.
That's not.
No, so you are okay. So you were a good student as well.
Yes,
Okay.
I just was nervous because Jonesburg was such a small school, and I had always
That
done
doesn't always matter, though.
very, very well because my coach was always preaching like you can't play the sport unless you're an academic. So I'm kind of a perfectionist in both of those, basketball and school. But yeah, I was able to get in, and I just knew the school was pretty prestige for academics, and I was like, if it could take me anywhere basketball, I would follow it.
See, now mine was a little bit different. Like I went to Shenandoah, which is in Clifton Park, up until 9th grade, which you have 1,100 kids per class, you know, and it's just giant. There's 2 high school buildings. It's everything. And then obviously went to CBA for the last 3 years. But then when I went to school, I had a similar thing. I wanted to be close enough to home where if anything happened, I could get home, but I wanted to be far enough away where I felt like I was at school.
Yeah.
So Oneonta was the perfect opportunity for that for me. But I went from big Capital District to small central New York southern tier town. And it was like, whoa, okay. Like, you know, there's more people in my high school than in this town.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's wild. So it's kind of a reverse position there for you. But you, what are you studying here at Skidmore?
I'm finishing with a psychology bachelor's degree, but I'm hoping to pursue social work as my master's in the future.
Because you interned at Charleston House.
Yes.
Charlton House.
I interned there, and then I've actually been working part-time since the internship. So I'm still working.
Now, what is that for those who don't know what that is? It's in Boston Spa?
Yep, it's in Boston Spa. The Charlton School, don't quote me on all the verbiage that I use, but it's a mental health institution that has residential and a school program. So the girls will go to school, and then they'll come home to the dorms that are on campus. And I, as an RC, residential counselor, I will hang out with them. I will do programs with them. I'll keep them on track. I'll have conversations about mental health issues, concerns about school, down to if you lose your hairbrush, that's your favorite one. The girls there are absolutely remarkable. Came to my game, actually supported me.
This year?
Great. This year. Nice. So they got to support me, and it was actually really inspiring for a lot of them. And that's kind of what I wanted to do throughout basketball, with having everyone get a chance to score, and then with life.
So psychology is your major?
Yeah.
Okay. And so then obviously with your I guess working with them, is that the path after Skidmore, or are you planning on staying relatively local, or are you saying, oh, hey, you know, maybe my internship or maybe my academics or whatever could land me a job somewhere else? I mean, were you just taking what comes to you, or do you have plans already?
So far I have plans to stay at Charlton for a while. I want to get a year of experience before I try and go anywhere, so I have a solid resume. But I'm hoping to travel a little bit outside of kind of the small area that I've stayed around. I'm really family oriented. I love my family. So it'll be heartbreaking to ever kind of leave them for a little while. But
are you more of a smaller town kind of person? Like if you were to get a job opportunity or an internship opportunity like in Manhattan, would that be overwhelming for you, or are you think you can just take any challenge that comes to you?
Yeah, I like Chicago.
Oh, you've been Chicago's a cool city
nice.
Too. Cold, but a good city, yeah.
Very cold. Yeah. But I actually have a long distance boyfriend, and I had him this whole senior year. So he lives in Michigan, and
that's decent distance.
Yeah. May work in Chicago, so that's an opportunity to see if I want to try about a bigger lifestyle. But you know, I grew up literally on a hobby farm.
Like what farm?
A hobby farm.
What's a hobby farm?
A hobby farm is an old farm that has no animals, but is filled with like 4-wheelers and anything that is like
a hobby.
Yes.
That wasn't like that's not like a
basketball court in our barn.
Okay, so a hobby, so it's a literal sense hobby. I thought that was like a term that I didn't understand. It means something. Okay, so a literal hobby farm. Okay, now there's a lot of farm area out by the Twinsburg area, right? It's that whole section of Schoharie County.
Yeah, it's close to Schoharie.
Yeah, so that whole section is kind of a little bit more rural. You know, I used to pass it as a Oneonta, and I knew when I got to Cobleskill, I was halfway. You know, that was between Albany and Oneonta. But really on I-88, there's nothing until you get to Binghamton. I mean, it's just, it's a road that is a little bit more on the boring side, but you know, I've had to drive it several times. Long time ago though. I'm old.
No.
I'm old. I graduated Wait, so you graduated high school, what?
22.
22. Yeah, I was going to say you came in here at 22, 23 seasons.
Yeah.
So, jeez. Yeah, I graduated high school to give everybody out there. I know. There are certain people that are listening that are going to say you're not old, and I'm not gonna give names out there, but I know you're listening because I got a text. But I graduated high school in '06,
Okay.
and then college in 2010.
Ah, okay.
So a long time ago for both.
Yeah, you got a long time.
Yeah. I'm lucky to not be gray at this point. So where I'm at. So when the one thing before we get into a little bit more about this season and your growth into becoming a starter here, I did notice you lettered in volleyball as well.
I did, yes.
Aren't they the same season? So how did you manage that?
I'm not sure. I think it's the same as soccer season, which was right in the fall.
Okay, so it's before basketball.
It's a little bit before. It did clash a little bit.
I thought they were both winter sports. I could be wrong, but I thought they were.
I think ours started a little bit earlier than the rest. But yeah, I didn't have too much conflict, but I definitely liked volleyball, but I had to stop when it was like getting close to the end. And my coaches were pretty cool about that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, like I had three, but I had three distinct. Like I had football in the fall, basketball in the winter, and then either lacrosse or baseball in the spring. And then because I've been sports my whole life. Yeah. It's been between broadcasting to sports. It's just been 20 years and 200 pounds ago. It was my life. But since then, beer and pizza have gotten the best of me. But it was crazy because my metabolism. I used to have to like bulk up all summer for football and then slim down right away for basketball, and then kind of be, depending on if it was lacrosse or baseball, like, okay, do I want to be like a bigger side or do I want to be more lean, and then bulk up all summer and then slim down? So
it's a process.
Finally, and now it's caught up to me. It's just stuck on slow motion right now for metabolism. So, and so then you have all the success you've had the first 2 years. Again, 45-11, 32-4. Coach Turner leaves. Coach Bostic comes in, who was actually my first show here. I had been talking with him about the show for a while, and then he obviously volunteered to be the first one. And I told him I was going to have some players on. So I told him, he's I'm going to ask you a few things. And I told him, hey, I want them to be honest. I don't want them to be, But so he came on, and he has a completely different style. He's a little bit more laid back, but he's also can be intense when he needs to be.
Oh yeah.
Very animated on the sideline. Dresses to a T. I mean, he's comes out there, starts out with the sweatsuit, and he goes to the locker room, comes out all Gucci'd out, And I'm like,
he wore a pink suit for his senior night.
He did, yes, he did wear. Which, by the way, you were the leading scorer that day. 13 points in that game, and it was you guys. You had a different mentality. See, he said defense into offense. Defense creates offense. He said he likes his defense to open up opportunities. And you saw a little bit more of a press this year, a little bit more of a full court, 93 feet, turnovers leading to fast breaks, which you didn't see as much. You guys were a little bit more of a half court under Coach Turner, but your defense was so much, it was very intense in the half court. But you were an offensive team. I mean, under Coach Turner, you guys were putting up 60, 70, 80, once or twice 90 points in a game. You guys were having a lot of games under Coach Bostic, 35, 40 points, 50 points, but you were getting wins. So what's the philosophy difference between those two coaches?
Yeah, I first want to say, because I didn't mention it before, that team I had going in freshman year and sophomore year, amazing team, and I'm
ridiculous. They were an NCAA tournament team,
insane. Thank you guys for everything. But the philosophy difference, with Coach Turner, it was just, we're going to do a man. You're going to work as hard as you can. And that's not something we need to practice because we do that in all of our drills. With Coach Bostic, I don't know if you guys know what the amoeba is.
I do. They might not, but yeah.
It is quite a crazy defense to learn. So that was a huge change for me. I'm like really into people's face. And I think that defense at Coach Bostic, the amoeba, allowed me to do that, but it was just very different. I would say like practice wise, Coach Turner had like a list, like it would fall out of her pocket like 10 times a practice, but of exactly what we're going to do with the exact minutes. I would say we had more shooting drills and more things like that I think Coach Bostic, on the other hand, like focuses more on like the team play and the cohesion. That way we'll do a lot more drills against each other, really work on that amoeba defense against offenses that we would play, and less of that like skill work.
Yep.
So I know we're supposed to do it outside of practice, but some people, their schedules are packed to a T, and they're barely getting enough time.
It's
to
tough
shower.
with academics and everything. Yeah. Well, is he more of a film guy? Is he a film study and break down your opponent, or is he more of like, this is what we're going to run, and I know the team, but this is what I want you guys to run? Or did he bring you guys all in and break everything down? I know Coach Turner was very detailed, and you guys had film study, and you were in the study hall. I don't know what building on campus, but you were watching the film, and she would rewind it and watch this thing and then come back and rewind it. Coach Bostic seems a little bit more chill, so how is that? How do you think that helped you guys mentally? Did you feel less pressure these last 2 seasons?
Yeah. We used to get tested on scouts
with
by
Coach
Turner.
Yeah.
I mean, we need to know our stuff. So.
No, yeah. Well, I mean, that's good.
Everyone has their ways, but Coach Bostic, like, besides the film, he liked film. We watched it, but we didn't really like focus on it too hard unless it was like crunch time. Like when we went to the league, he really, really got down on it. But Coach Bostic, this is not just because I know you're watching, but he truly saved me in my career of basketball.
Okay.
From sophomore to junior year, I felt mentally and physically more free and myself. I felt like that little girl playing for the first time.
Sure. The more fun.
The more I felt comfortable.
Yep.
Like he didn't make me think too much about the game or like how I'm dribbling or what pass I made. Like he knew what I could do. And I'll get into more of that when we talk about me starting. But yeah, he is a free-flowing type of guy, but he knows his stuff. Like this guy, he knows basketball.
Yeah, I got his background a little bit, and he definitely, when he was on, and yeah, he definitely has a mind for it, for sure. But he does have a different philosophy. And so then do you think that perhaps the culture difference within the locker room, within the program, kind of not just helped you, but a lot of players? Because I had Ruby on as well.
Yeah.
And, Ruby didn't play for the first 2 years. And when she was on this year, I was like, oh, they got a new player, Ruby Crop. And I'm looking at this, I'm like, junior.
Yeah.
I've seen everybody that's come to this program for a decade. I don't know her.
Yeah.
And then so I got to finally talk to her about why the first 2 years she wasn't playing, which, again, you guys can go on to WSPN on YouTube and check that out. And I'm not going to go into that here. But so you think that the culture, like you said, it saved you, definitely helped you out a little bit and made you perhaps a better player, or just more of a more free, comfortable player? Like, do you think that you improved your game in these last 2 years than you had in the first two? Or are you just had more freedom to be? Like, is it both, or?
Yeah. First I want to say Ruby Crop is an amazing player. And I advocated before this year started to get her on this team.
Okay.
I knew what she could do.
I mean, leading rebounder.
I knew we needed that height, and she was strong and never gave up. Amazing. So besides that, I don't know. I think it was always in me. I think that I just lost it in those first 2 years, and I was kind of playing a way that just didn't allow me to choose and make mistakes. But I will say I do think I improved different parts of my game this year. Coach Bostic, the first coach to be able to do it, improved my mid-range game, which was actually something that allowed my percentages and analytics to go up, because my shot selection was so much better than taking a layup against a girl from Ithaca who was 2 times my height.
Yeah, you were a little bit more of a drive type of player the first 2 years. I noticed that. But if that's not your strength, then I can see how that would be hard. Your passing has really stepped it up as well. But I think, again, the main thing that everyone knows about you is just the defense. That's really been your thing, and defense into offense. And I could tell the culture changed just from, yes, it was successful. It was fun to call those first 2 years because it was all the wins and it was exciting. But I noticed a body language difference between everybody these last 2 years, and I noticed a little bit more of a you look like you were having more fun.
Yeah.
You in particular, but a bunch of people look like you were just more free, which again, coach booked, and I talked to him about this. During the RPI game, I said, "What? How are the players responding? Because you started 1-9 because you booked the toughest non-conference schedule I think I have ever seen. 7 non-conference games, 5 of them were nationally ranked, and 3 of those were top 3 in the nation. But he had his philosophy, and he said it battle tested you. It got you ready for the tough conference games. And the Liberty League is one of, if not the toughest on the East Coast for competition for the Division III level. So it got you guys ready, and it got you to a point where when I was doing the RPI game, the coach or no, not the coach, the AD up there was like, I don't want to see these guys again. He said because you look at it and you guys had 7 at that point 7 conference losses by a combined 15 points. So you were in every game right to the end. Maybe one mistake would happen here, or one, referee, I'll put that in air quotes, thing happened there. Something just didn't go your way at the end. But you guys were battling with everybody. And I think that's a testament of that non-conference that you had played.
Yeah.
Whereas instead of kind of cakewalking through your non-conference and then getting into a tough conference, which I think helped you down the stretch, because you did come out, you did avenge the RPI game on the road. Again, I was there. Very, very tough environment to play in.
Yeah.
And then obviously you guys unfortunately ran into a buzzsaw with RIT. They were very good this year. Which is good for them too, because they've had some down years. So it's good for them to finally, get to where they need to go. Did they win the conference?
No,
it was
Union.
Union, that's right.
Did, actually, actually, one of their players told me after our game when we lost at Union that they did not want to see us again.
Yeah,
I was hoping they would.
Well, you guys beat them as the number 1 seed by 17. I remember that one.
That was an amazing game.
That was huge.
And yes, I don't think I answered your question, but
you're also the leading scorer in that.
The body language definitely has changed. The culture, everyone's happy and more free in themselves, but it saddens me that I know we lost some of that structure, in the team environment.
Well, I had it mistaken that number 1 seed against Union, you had 13 points. In your senior day game, you had 11. But either way, double digits in both. But yeah, that was a huge win. It kind of turned the season around a little bit for you guys and got you like, hey, this Union team's smacking everybody.
And we can do
We just beat them by 17.
Yeah.
We can do it. And then you guys went a little bit of a mini run, and got yourself a position where you needed to be to get into the Liberty League tournament after, I don't want to say a disastrous start, but record-wise, it wasn't where you wanted to be. But again, and then you guys come out. It's always fun to beat RPI. I have friends down there. My cousin's actually going to RPI next year. He plays at Spa Catholic, so I don't know if that was a team you guys played, but
I heard of him.
He's going. So it's always fun to beat them. So senior year, when did it hit you finally that this is it in Williamson? Did it click at all during the year? Was it the final whistle of senior day, knowing that was you guys were going to be on the road for the tournament? Or when did it finally click that basketball, at least at a collegiate level, is over for me?
Yeah, honestly, I don't think I let it click. I mean, it clicked senior night, but I still know I had some more games left.
Oh, you did, yeah.
It was always in the back of my head,
Was it? Yeah.
but I hadn't gotten emotional over it until this point. But right when we entered that single elimination,
into the Liberty League tournament,
I was like, all right, I need to give everything. My pregame speeches need to be everything I feel.
And that was you. You were the vocal pregame.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to be able to speak to the girls before, and at least in the Liberty League, you would want to wear earplugs if you were in my huddle.
That's verified, because I asked Ruby. I said, "Well, how are you pregame? With everything?" And she said, "I just kind of do my thing." And I said, "Well, who's your leader of your team? Before to get everyone." And she definitely was like, "That's got to be Maddie." I was like, "Yeah." So
I was like, "I'm not losing this tonight. You guys are powerful. We're
in their face. Yeah,
we can do this."
Which is good. It amps you up a little bit.
Yeah.
On the girls' side, it's a little bit different. We had some words that you guys probably wouldn't use. We also got a little bit more physical with each other than you guys probably did. And in today's day and age, you really can't do a lot of the stuff we did and said. But we literally would grab by the jersey and nose, are you gonna lose this? I'm not trying to blah blah blah. And he's like, yeah, and then we used to have this thing, and we got about 20 minutes left, but we had this thing where pregame. I lived with the football guys, and so that's how I was able to do my broadcasting career. There was I played basketball, and then I lived with football, so I did the football games, and they had this thing that they used to do because the big football guys or the machismo. So they used to do this whole thing, and I started doing it with basketball, and it was pregame in the locker room to get you amped up. Like, all right, I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna be ready to play, right?
Yeah.
And it was, I want you to open palm slap me in the face.
Oh my god!
Just hit me. And we're in the locker room, and we're just like, do it, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, oh yeah, I love the contest, let's.
Yeah,
and you're just like, let's, and it's like, that wasn't hard enough, do it. And then it's boom, it's like, all right, let's go. And then we're in the locker room just smacking each other, right? And we get out there, and we're just, layup drills are going to half court off the backboard because we're just like, yeah, like, let's go, and it got to that point. Whereas nowadays, if you see that in the pregame, people are like, Jesus, what's going on with the
we're scared. Yeah.
So it's a little different. Times have changed. The language obviously has changed. A couple of words that, and then like I was telling Ruby as well, there's a lot of things on campus that, she works with the peer counselor and things. And, we didn't really have that.
Yeah.
We were just kind of like, we had that walk it off mentality. It was just put some dirt on it, you're fine.
Yeah.
Mental health wasn't a thing back in the early well, it was, but it wasn't as prominent as it is now. So if you had any issues mental health wise, were kind of looked at as weak.
Yeah.
And that was back how it was then. So I'm kind of glad that, Ruby's able to do what she's able to do with Peter Fisher, how he has the DEI stuff that he does on campus, which is nice, which we didn't have. Obviously, you do the counseling stuff that you're doing with Charlton. It's nice to see that and to know, because there are times where no one would admit it, especially back then. I'm not going to admit to that. I'm soft. I'm not whatever,
No,
and nowadays you can feel like, all right, I have somewhere I could talk to somebody, you know? And so it is nice to see that. And in my old age, now I'm more appreciative of that, because it's like, we didn't have that. And there were a lot of players that I had that were friends of mine that ended up getting all twisted up mentally, due to sports and due to the way coaches talk to you, players talk to you, things happened. And maybe it would have been a little different if we had more of a mentality like we have today.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's not about me, it's about Madison Meyer. So your favorite moment in a Skidmore uniform so far?
Gosh, that's a great question. Okay.
Because you've had a lot of them.
Yeah. I definitely have. I always say the NCAA, and I mean, hands down,
the tournament's a different animal, right?
Yeah, it's a different animal. Yeah. But anytime that we've beat Union in the past 2 years have been the most fun games I've ever played. We can't miss. We are confident, and we just own the floor. We make them choose from our choices of what we'd like them to do.
Kind of like a rivalry for you, like a personal rivalry. Yeah, like for me, it was Ithaca. And we was the Empire 8. They had since left the Empire 8. And I was one in, played them twice a year. I can't do math. As you know, I was an English and history major. My math, I still count on my fingers.
Yeah,
but played them 2, 4, 6, 8. I was 2 and 6 against Ithaca in my career, and they were just our nemesis.
Yeah.
And then I get here, I'm like, all right, don't have to worry about it. And then they join the Liberty League, and I'm like, I gotta see Ithaca.
Great.
So wonderful. So it's always a little bit more for me about Ithaca has been my big one. What do you hope that as a senior, because you got some young players. Obviously, she's come along. She's been great in the backcourt. Obviously, Audrey's coming off that knee injury. She's going to be a big factor next year. Coach said. Ruby, who we just mentioned, Carpenter, Crinity, like some of the younger players coming in. What do you, hope that you've passed down to the younger players as now them seeing you? Some of them seeing you for the first time this year, but some of them have played with you for 2 or 3 years now.
Yeah.
What do you feel like, what do you hope at least that you've passed down to them as their senior leader?
Yeah. The biggest thing I hope to pass down to them this year was just to show them that they can do it. Like, you can make 4 years. You can do the hard things. You can get good grades. You can get a job. You can play basketball. And
you can balance it all.
You can do it all. And then the second thing was that, this game should be fun. like you should enjoy every single chance that you get to play, and you should play like you and for the team at the best cause. And that was one thing, like I never let them, and then when I told them, but I never let them see me ever be down. Like every time I walk onto that court, like I'm smiling, I'm trying to get everyone ready because like, damn, I love the game, and I hope I pass on to them that like, damn, they should love this game as much as I do as well.
And that was kind of how Aiden felt. I had Aiden Roy last week, and he's not a senior, but that's kind of how he was too. He was like, yeah, I love the game, and I want to continue to show that to the younger guys because he was. I know Jacob Gooden was the big one this year as a freshman,
That was impressive.
but he was kind of that guy a couple of years ago, and now he's like, now I know I'm in that position where I can sort of be the leader and I can teach them things, and so he was kind of happy with that too. And the last thing, well, not the last thing, but last thing before the section that everyone asks about and everyone loves, the fourth quarter free throws. I don't know if you've seen some of the shows we've done or Coach Bostic or with Ruby, but it's a section at the end, and I'll explain to you how that works. But I guess life after Skidmore, we've already talked about what you were studying. Kind of what's next for you after graduation. You stay with the Charlton House for a little bit, hopefully. But do you see basketball staying in your life in some sort of way?
Yes.
Okay.
First of all, I didn't get to talk about Coach Dobbs, so I just want to say, like, I love your presence. Thank you for being on the team. You're an amazing, amazing supporter and coach.
And I'm sure I get her in a couple weeks too, so I'll let you know. I'll send that to you.
But yeah, my future endeavors with basketball, I can never lose it. I'm definitely gonna play at Coach Dobbs' facility this summer, and maybe at the Impact Center as well. But I just like impacting people, and so like if anyone's watching that has children, who'd like a nice positive girl, to coach them, I do coach kids in the summer, in Duanesburg. And
I was gonna say, do you see yourself possibly coaching? But there you go, you answered that for me.
And I hope to somehow work as like a social worker, as a psychologist in the school district, in the future. That way I can weasel my way into a job for being a coach.
Duanesburg School District, or do you want to go because Charlton's technically in Bolton Spa District, right? So you'd want to be in that area. Okay.
So like potentially that area or Duanesburg. Go
so it's
there,
nice to be home.
show a little love for a little while. But I will never let the sport leave me. I will hold it with a death grip.
You a WNBA fan?
Oh, not as big as a WNBA fan as I am college.
Okay. Yeah. Who's your college team?
It changed.
Well, besides Skidmore, of course.
I was going to say, Skidmore. Right now, I've really been liking Alabama women, and I've also stayed with Indiana. I have a heart attachment to the place where basketball was created, so I have to support.
You've been out to Springfield?
I
Naismith Hall of Fame?
Yes, amazing. Okay. And I actually learned about it at school here.
See, so my first internship in radio coming out of college, I had went to, so after Harvard, I went to Connecticut School of Broadcasting, and that was out that way. And so I had interned at a radio station inside the Basketball Hall of Fame in Springfield. So that was cool. I kind of got to see a little bit of all of that going on. It's a cool facility. Springfield's much to be desired, but the what is it? The museum, I guess, part of it, Hall of Fame is nice to see. So what we're going to do, we'll get into what's called fourth quarter free throws, and I'll put this back up onto the, I hate when this computer does this, boom, boom, X out of that. Okay. So we'll get into fourth quarter. So what that is, and I've had people ask me about it. Oh, I want to hear your fourth quarter free throws with Maddie. It's basically, ask you a question.
Okay.
Top of your head.
Okay.
Answer. Okay, not even thinking about it, not even like okay, how do I want to just boom. No, I don't. I'm not even gonna ask all of these. I'm gonna, but it's just boom. First thing you can think of, and yeah, and it was fun with Aiden last week because he had a couple things where I asked him about some of his teammates, which was interesting. So I'm not necessarily saying I'm going to do that to you. I have a bunch of different ones, but first one I guess to say would be. Favorite place to play in the Liberty League?
Clarkson.
It is, okay. Toughest place to play for you in the Liberty League? On the road, of course.
RPI or Union, probably.
Okay, so the local schools are tougher.
They have weird size courts and
the track around the top.
Yeah. Very weird.
Vassar's weird too. It's got that track around the top, and the Vassar gym to me always looked like the YMCA. It was very a lot of windows open.
I don't like the clear background of the hoop where you can't really.
There's no the depth perception. Yeah. Okay. Best defender on the team besides yourself?
It's got to be either Sophia.
She's nasty, yeah.
As like a guard, like Stella's really good too, or Ruby.
Okay.
Or Clyde. I don't know. I love all of them.
Okay. All right. Well, if you had to pick one.
Yeah. I would say Sophia. She's got that same mentality I do.
You're a movie person?
Yes.
Okay. Favorite basketball movie?
Love and Basketball. My mom showed me it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite movie in general?
Oh, gosh. My Girl.
Okay. Again, these are designed to kind of talk a little bit about basketball, but also get to know you a little bit too without having an hour-long segment on it, just kind of little things about you. The teammate was the funniest. Who makes you laugh the most?
Claudia Schneider.
Okay. For some reason I can see that.
Yeah, she's hilarious.
I don't want to say toughest opponent you faced, because, there's been so many in the 4 years to name a name might be weird, but you said Union's always a tough game for you guys, but you love beating them.
Yeah.
Who controls the locker room music? And there's a A and B to that.
Okay.
Who kind of has the vibe in the locker room with the music? And if you guys, let's say you went on a road trip outside of basketball, who would you trust the most and the least with the aux cord?
Jenny Shine is our DJ, and she's amazing. Thank you. And then the least person I would trust with the aux cord, honestly, me.
Okay. But that's good. You could be humble.
But besides me, I don't know. I haven't listened to Melissa's music, so.
Okay. Yeah. Coffee or energy drink, if either?
Coffee for work, energy drink for basketball.
Okay. Yeah. See, I live off these. I've had 3 of these a day. Yeah.
Took my best friend from home. She loves off Celsius.
Oh, Celsius. Celsius used to have alcohol in it.
Really?
It used to be. Yeah. It still does in some. There's certain ones that do.
Okay.
But they became so popular that they took a lot of the alcohol out so that they could sell it retail. But yeah, they used to be. They started as an alcoholic drink, kind of similar to like a White Claw type of deal. Yeah, but White Claw can't put the caffeine in it, so they were like, all right, let's have a better version of White Claw. And then they got popular, and then people were getting sick and kids, and so they're like, But yeah, it started as alcoholic, which is fun. Who's always late for everything?
LOL. Me for the first 2 years. I'm really sorry. Melissa Severino helped get me there. Sophia.
Sophia's late for everything.
I love you, babe. We're like twins, so I would put it past us.
But if you say, so let's say you guys have an obligation, you're going out somewhere, you're gonna go do something, and it's at 3:00. You'll tell her it's at like 2 or 2:30, right?
Oh,
so that
yeah.
Okay.
We actually have to we'll really lie it through, maybe even an hour.
An hour. Okay. All right. Fair enough. And I noticed there was another player on the team too this year that was a freshman and got some minutes, but Megan Drury.
Love Megan.
And she was at the baseball game the other day.
Oh yes.
I noticed. I didn't think it was you, but there was a couple of the girls on the team that I saw.
There. Yeah.
And so, do you have a sport maybe outside of basketball that you like, that you follow?
I don't really follow much other than football. Would be my other sport.
Like NFL?
I follow. Yeah.
Who's your team?
I'm a Washington fan.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to cut this interview short here today. Madison, Meyer. No, I'm not.
I know they never win.
No, it's not about never winning. I'm a since before you were born, diehard Dallas Cowboys.
Oh my gosh, just like my stepdad.
Yeah, just like Coach Burke too. So, but
another thing I know.
But it's better. See, Washington's been the big rivalry. It's kind of like Bears Packers. It's been, but Coach Bostic, Eagles fan.
Oh, really? That's my mom.
I don't know if you knew that.
No, I did not know
that.
Okay,
all right. Well, he's from the Philly area.
Yeah, that would make sense.
So it would make sense for him. He's Fly Eagles Fly, and Coach Burke is a Cowboys fan, despite being from South Jersey as well. So I told him I'd dap them up a little bit. I was like, yeah, see, you know football.
Yeah.
Washington's going to have a solid team this year, though. They're going to be, their free agency was pretty good.
Okay, good.
Jaden Daniels, that elbow injury was close last year. Did you see that?
I felt so bad for him.
Do you like the new? I'm not going to get into the politics aspect of it, of the name change.
Yeah.
But in terms of the uniforms now,
Mhm.
do you like the way that
Yeah.
they do the setup with the numbers that have the little dots and the W and the
Mhm.
whole, yeah?
I like their vibe now. I
See-
do miss like the old,
Like with the stripe?
dark stripe
Yeah.
red. Yeah,
Yeah.
I really like that.
Have you been
tradition.
to the RFK at the
I
stadium?
have not been lucky
Okay.
enough to, but
Okay.
hopefully, like maybe my mom or my boyfriend will like bring me
Okay. What's his team?
for my birthday. Gosh, his are the whatever the Michigan one is.
Lions?
The Lions.
Detroit?
That's terrible.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah.
Lions.
Detroit's a solid team too.
Yeah.
They've been so bad for so long that it's good to see them finally starting to come around.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I went down to DC with a buddy of mine who's a Cowboys fan. This was 2 years ago when the Eagles collapsed, and
Yeah.
we went to go win the division down there, and we were like, hey, we didn't think this was going to happen. You want to go to DC? It's only 5 hours. We jumped in the car, went down there. We won the division. Washington was like 3-0, 3-15 that year. They weren't very good, but we went down there, and then obviously the debacle against Green Bay the following week.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So Washington, I'm not gonna deduct a couple of points off the test, but I'm not gonna completely bury you on it, because if you said Eagles, I just cut everything off. But so a couple more here, and then we got to cut it. But so for you, I guess if you had to pick a favorite moment, and I know you've had a lot of them, but if you had to pick a favorite moment, Skidmore's, your career here.
In basketball. Yeah.
It doesn't have to be. I mean, it could be off the court too.
Okay. On the court, favorite memory has to be winning the Ithaca game finally after 3 losses to get to the tournament. To win the tournament to go to NCAA.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was glorious. And then my favorite memory would have to be spring break. I got the opportunity to go on a trip with Sarah Chambers, Julia Blanc, Amelia Jamu. Oh my gosh, you can know how to say it better than me.
Yeah,
right?
I know. Yeah.
But amazing. They're amazing people. I miss them immensely.
Talk about a defender, Julia Blanc.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she was insane. She was intense. And she was all around a crazy player.
Gosh, yeah.
And you remind me of a lot. Molly McLaughlin. Remember her a couple years ago?
I don't.
You remember? For those who watch and Skidmore, she was about your height.
Okay.
Guard. I used to call her Little Irish because it was her name, and
Yeah.
and Pat. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name, but I had a big Irish on the men's team.
Yeah.
And so I used to have nicknames, kind of like John Sterling does for baseball.
Yeah.
I got away from that a little bit the last couple of years, but I used to have little nicknames. You, of course, were X, that being the X Factor. But what do we got for time? I got time for these last couple here. Favorite place in town?
My favorite place in town would have to be the park, probably.
Which one?
The
Congress Park?
Congress Park.
Congress Park? With the little pond with the ducks and the whole... It's big. It's a lot. Big time. Yeah. You a reader or...
Not as much. I like to listen to podcasts.
So what do you do in the park? Listen to podcasts?
Yeah, I listen to podcasts, or I academic. I do all my homework.
At the park?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, because you live off campus, so in nicer weather, you
only when it's nice.
Okay. Yeah, you're not going to sit in the park with, especially the winter we had. Yeah. So you're not going to sit in the park that way.
No.
And some of your favorite hobbies. I know Ruby plays guitar.
Oh, cool. I didn't even know that. No.
There we go. She's also a mountain biker, skier. Like, she does all this kind of stuff. So do you... But guitar was the cool one for me, because I was kind of like put on the spot. Like, could you play something right now?
Yeah.
Like if you came on next week with a guitar, could you play something? I was kind of giving her some of that. But what are your hobbies? What do you like to do outside of basketball?
My favorite things to do outside of basketball are probably spend time with my family and friends.
Because you're very family oriented.
Very family oriented. Okay. I love to lift. Lifting is one of my favorite things to do. Yep.
Okay.
And then I love to just go on walks and adventure new places. So like new places and streets I haven't been.
Have you ever heard of Randonautica?
No.
The app? I'll explain it to you off the air, but that might be something you would be interested in. And the last one for you here, because we're up against it with time, and this is one I've asked everybody from Coach Bostic, because I had Coach Bostic, Coach Burke, Peter Fisher, Ruby Kropp, Lindsey King, Aiden, and now you. Top of the head, first thing that comes to mind, you have to choose one of the two.
Okay.
And I'm going to judge your sanity based on your answer. Skydive or shark cage?
Skydive.
You're insane. How?
Immediately.
Why?
Immediately. I need to go. I need
Why?
to see what the clouds feel like and what the world
My
looks
God,
like
okay.
outside of an airplane.
You are out of your mind. And I'll
The
tell you
sharks are
why.
so scary.
Well, yeah, okay, I get that. But, well, actually, you have more of a chance of getting struck by lightning than actually attacked by a shark. But
Yeah.
the thing is, you're in a ton of steel.
Yeah.
It can't get in there.
Have you seen those movies?
It's a movie. It's supposed to be scary. But anyway,
Scary.
see, the thing is with me, you jump out of a plane at 10,000 feet, that doesn't pull, you know?
Yeah.
And even if you're with an instructor and people look at skydiving videos and it looks like they're just floating through the air for 5 minutes and oh, this is so fun. It's less than a minute.
Try some braces.
It's less than a minute for you to be on the ground from 10,000 feet. So you don't have a lot of time.
What did Coach Bostic say?
Coach Bostic said shark cage. I believe. Because he doesn't like heights. I believe, yeah. Which is the same thing to say.
Yeah.
Because at least they can pull you up. You know, they can. If God forbid you get in trouble, you hit a button, it pulls the cage up. It does. You know.
It's probably safer.
Yeah, and with my luck, that parachute's not coming. So yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Madison Meyer, the senior on the team, we just found out is insane and would rather skydive. But hopefully, there's so much more that we could discuss within an hour. I only have an hour slot this year, so I kind of have this little showcase. So there's so much more that maybe you guys would want to know, and hopefully. I'm not going to say reach out to her. I know you probably don't want a bunch of random people hitting you up, but if there's anything else you guys do want to know, hopefully, we've covered a decent amount here today for her on the court and off the court, and maybe the legacy that she leaves behind as number 24/10 here at Skidmore. Were you number 10 for 3 years or 2?
1 year. Just this year.
Just this year?
Yeah, because Becca Horger had it last year.
That's right, Becca. Yeah, another one.
I just wanted to say that I love my teammates and my coaches, and I'm so blessed you guys made everything possible and made me who I am.
Okay. We got like 30 seconds. Can you say that again? A little slower.
Yeah. I just wanted to thank my coaches and my teammates, obviously my family too, but you guys made me who I am today, and I see you guys carrying out my love for basketball, and I can come back and watch you guys. So thank you.
There we go. And once again, I'm going to miss Madison Meyer and calling her next year with her games. But hopefully you will find some time in your busy schedule to listen to some games and hear hear the calls and everything and whatnot. So once again, this was Between the Reins. You can check us out. We'll be on YouTube tonight. Between the Reins, WSPN. You're here on 91.1. WSPN here at Skidmore. We got another show coming up against it here, so it's going to have some music, so you guys won't have to hear talking for an hour plus. And once again, this was Madison Meyer. I am Chris McSwiggan, and I'm not going to tell you who we have next week because I want to keep you guessing a little bit, and I don't want you guys to dig and find some research before I do. So, but yeah, we will be here, same time, same place. I got to do this first because I got home after the Lindsey King.
So I was